Hello, humans, and welcome to The Spot, your all-access backstage pass to all things Springer. And of course, I always got the tea and everything current events when it comes to theater, arts, and culture. Now, I'm Dureyea Collier, your host, and this is the first edition of the new year. So let's kick this off, okay? So, I recently had a conversation with a Springer board member who's also a screenwriter, a director, and a producer who's making big moves and doing a huge part in cultivating the film community right there in Columbus, Georgia. Take a look. I would like you all to welcome Mr. Ty Mans, writer, director, producer, and president of Mans Mackey Studios.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Danielle, she was going on about you since we started doing The Spot. You have to do an episode about Ty Mans. He's awesome. He's a great guy.
I pay people a lot of money to do that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. First things first, though. Happy New Year. Did you make a resolution this year?
Just to be a good person. If you can do that, you can achieve just about anything you want.
Okay.
And when my kids came along, I took that to be, the best husband and father I could be. And in my younger age, my New Year's resolution was to say, okay, how much more can I drink or party harder than I did the year before?
So I want to know a little bit about your relationship with the Springer.
The whole crew over there, Danielle, Paul, all those guys, I just love being around them. They're just really good people. The energy and the passion for creativity. Yes. And they just asked me one day, hey, would you be interested in becoming a member of the board?
Knowing Paul, like, as a younger person, he was a suit in my head. He was a suit. But then, like, as an older person, like, knowing he's really a hippie.
I know, right?
What was your first love of all of these hats that you wore? Which one was the one that drew you in?
The first love is writing.
Writing.
Hands down. I started writing as a kid, years ago, as a young kid, trying to write stories.
Right.
I wrote my first screenplay in 1991. I think I was a lieutenant in Germany at the time.
Okay. I was in the military when I wrote my first screenplay.
Oh, see, there you go. Well, I don't know about yours, but I tell you what, mine was an absolute disaster.
Really? You think?
Oh, it was horrible.
But you need that first one. You need that one.
But I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I was writing the next Oscar-worthy
that's what it's supposed to feel like.
And I did get some very harsh feedback because I asked for that. But it helped me grow. Okay, this isn't it, but it will be it one day. Just don't give up. There's a big difference in this world in terms of whether you are a screenplay writer or a storyteller. Because
you better say that.
Yes, it is. And when I do my seminars, I like to ask, the first question I ask is, how many in the room right now consider themselves to be screenplay writers? Everybody raised their hand.
Right.
They all do. And then I tell them, each one of you are destined to fail in this industry. Anyone can write a screenplay. All you have to do is open up word processing document and you write fade in, and then on your very last page, you write the end. You have a screenplay now.
There it is.
But you may not have a story. And storytellers have careers in this industry. So if you're capable of writing a story, then you have a shot at having a career in this industry. So the writing part, that's what's driven me to where I am today. I love producing, don't get me wrong, directing,
right? Lots
of fun, a bit of a headache at times.
Is it easier for you to direct something that you've written, or is it easier for you to bring someone else's vision to life?
I think it's always easier to direct something you write. When I sit down and write, or when you or anyone sit down and write, you have to become every character.
Every single, So what's that relationship like?
Yeah.
You have all this set up for this character and then you're working with the actor.
Well, that's a great question because you shouldn't over-direct. You hire actors after they read your character description, they get a feel for who the character is and what the character's about. You have to allow room for the talent to bring in their interpretation. A lot of writers don't get to go on movie sets.
I was just about to ask
you movies that. I'll answer that one right now. And the reason they don't like that is it sometimes cause conflict. Mm-hmm. Writers will want to argue, directors, well, that's not what I was thinking, or that's not how I wrote it, et cetera, et cetera. When you as a writer give over your project to a production company, a producer, director, It's that director's vision now. When you write, and I'll say this to all writers, if you want to tell an interesting story, then create interesting characters. And if you are going to give that character something in the story that he or she does frequently, make it mean something. Don't have them pull at their eyebrows or eyelashes and not make it mean something at the end of the story. Maybe somewhere in the story, someone's looking at a desk after a crime and they see tiny eyelash particles laying on the desk. And then maybe that detective remembers that during an interview, he saw one of the people pull at their eye. So give it a reason.
That's dope. I'm getting all kind of knowledge right now. Look, okay.
I read a lot of books.
Hey, make sure you check back with us for future editions where we'll discuss more on Ty Mans and his upcoming film projects. But right now, I'm so excited. So since everybody's stuck at home, we know y'all are binge watching like crazy. So we decided to start a new segment where we give you our takes on the hottest content to hit your streams. And action. Danny, this is a hint. It's time to really get things going. So we are going to review a movie. Let's just take a look.
A one, a two, a you know what to do. This be an empty world without the blues.
I have a lot of apprehension about people putting things on film that were made for the stage. Have you read this play?
I've not read the play, nah.
Do you know who August Wilson is?
You got me again.
August Wilson is one of the foremost American playwrights of the 20th century. He's up there with Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams. His words are so poetic. And anyone who knows anything theater knows you do not touch August Wilson's words. You don't touch his words. You don't touch his words. So when you're adapting a movie from the stage to the film, usually the first thing that goes is the dialogue. I didn't want to see them butcher August Wilson.
Butcher his prose, just like...
It was almost verbatim, the same script. And I was so impressed by that.
I gotta say, watching it, that was one of the things that struck me was the dialogue, the conversation. That pulled me in to the movie a lot.
The first characters you meet aren't the main characters, which is such an August Wilson thing to do. It held my attention, even though there were only 3 locations within a few hours.
Yeah, just a day, them showing up to the studio and what that day was about.
It's about many things, but it's about the struggle between white people capitalizing on blackness. It's still relevant now. August Wilson, first of all, he writes incredibly complex characters. Everyone had to be kind of like a heavy hitter. Which was your favorite character and which was your least favorite character?
I had to double check that was Viola Davis. I just that was insane. It was ridiculous. And then of course the late Chadwick Boseman. Everything about that character, it all just came together so well, and just with all the proper emotion at the proper time. My least favorite, I'm gonna say it was was he a Reverend?
Cutler.
Cutler, yeah, because by the third time he said and one, and I kind of wanted to punch him. I just wanted to hit him, like every time he did it, it was like it was another dig at Levy.
Really?
Yeah, because it's and a 1 and a 2 and a you know what to do, and one of the whole tensions in this whole thing is that Levy doesn't know what to do. He wants to do his thing. You dug way deeper into that than I was. My favorite and my least favorite. I hated Chadwick Boseman's character, beginning to end. Hated him. Now the acting, stellar. I've never seen him play a role like that. It really just is so unfortunate when I'm watching him and I'm just sitting here in awe of this man and just that he's not here anymore. But I felt like the way I hated that character, that's how I know he was acting his face off. Because I was like, he was so self-centered. But you're mad that this man stepped on your shoes? You're literally stepping on everybody's toes every chance you get. I really don't like stubborn characters.
characters like that who have the answer for everything, but then when they meet something that they can't find an answer for, their response is violence. My favorite character was, of course, Ma Rainey. However, I was very impressed by Taylor Page, who played Dusty May, because I've seen her on other things, and I've never seen her carry herself the way she is that character. I was very, very impressed by the entire cast. Viola Davis, her choices were ridiculous. The way she handled that dialogue and didn't get caught up on it, the way she carried herself as Ma Rainey, just in whatever space she was in, fearlessly. Ruby Santiago Hudson was the writer, and George C. Wolfe was the director. Man, did they do a great job.
It was really interesting too, because what you have kind of going on with Ma Rainey is that in a sense she is kind of under the thumb of the white man. She's got to make the records for them, she's making money for them, she's doing all the stuff for them, but at the same time she knows what's going on, she knows what's up, and so she's able to take her power back. Whereas Levy, it's the opposite. He claims that he's not under their power. Because of that, he is not going to do or listen. And then you realize that actually he has lost control and he is firmly under their thumb. It's an interesting sort of dichotomy about how the characters see their situation and the realities of that situation.
What are we gonna rate the movie? You want to do 10 stars or 5?
We should do 5. I think 5. 5 falls more in line with movie sort of ratings.
I know, but I'm so 5 is just doesn't give you a lot of options. It's like, okay, let's say if Godfather was a 5, right? Right?
Okay.
What would Step Brothers be? No, I'm saying because Step Brothers is a really good movie.
I mean, you could just give it a stamp of approval or a stamp of disapproval.
I like that. I like that, the stamps. Danny, you got a green stamp of approval or a red stamp?
I got a green stamp of approval. You guys need to watch this movie. I mean, it's on Netflix now, so there's really no reason not to. Like, either you got Netflix or you're riding on someone else's Netflix, right?
Period.
So
I'm also going to give it a green stamp of approval. It's a great movie. It's different. It's new. It's such an experience, man. Go watch Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is available on Netflix. Maybe if Danny wants to, we can have another segment like this. But next time, he has something to eat off screen, but he didn't want to eat, I guess. But I don't care. Y'all know I don't care.
Coming soon to the Springer Opera House. Backed by popular demand, it's your favorite Stormy musical. Singing in the Rain hits the Springer stage March 18th through April 3rd. Head on over to SpringerOperaHouse.org now and grab your tickets. And while you're there, check out the Patron Safety tab for information on safety precautions taken at the Springer. Also, you'll find information about the Springer Outdoor Theater Festival beginning this March.
I want to give a huge thanks to Danny Oliver for joining me for that film review. I had a total blast. He recently completed a comic book series called Collinsworth Clockwork Circus, and it's ready for publication. It's a steampunk fantasy, and the Kickstarter has hit the net. So if you'd like to contribute, please head over to rimalternatives.com/kick. Also, if you have any ideas or suggestions for future segments or episodes, hit us up at social@springeroperahouse.org, or you can hit our Instagram or Facebook at Springer Opera House. Now, that's going to do it for us here on this edition of The Spot, your all-access backstage pass to all things Springer. And of course, I'm always going to have the tea on everything current events when it comes to theater, arts, and culture. Now, I'm Dureyea Rashad, signing off, wishing you a happy new year, and reminding you to spread the love. To spread the love. Spread the love.